Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to our short, hopefully, presentation on TouchChat and OneDrive. This is me. I'm Reiko Anderson. I think I know most of you. Uh, I'm going to send these slides around later, but you can find me on Reiko AAC SLP on Instagram, at NVSD SLP on YouTube, and there's also an NVSD SLP blog where I will put some PDFs from today and things like that. You can find the NVSD SLP blog link in my signature. Other SLPs are welcome to link that as well. They may or may not have that. So today, we're going to talk about where to find some of the resources that we're talking about today. Why are we backing up? How to back up, how to download, how to share. And I figured that as long as I have you here, in case you don't know, I will also go over how to add a word in TouchChat. Some of you might be already doing that. At the very least, it might be helpful to know where you can find a resource for learning how to add a word to TouchChat as well. Like I said, all of our things that we talk about today, the little video clips and stuff like that, are on both Instagram and YouTube. So this box here shows my Instagram account. I have a highlight reel here that's all about OneDrive and backing up to OneDrive and all those things we'll talk about today. On YouTube, if you go into playlists here, you will find a playlist down here about OneDrive. Now, depending on what I have interacted with most recently, you may need to go further down the line to find the OneDrive playlist. Okay, so why do we need to back up? It's just like anytime we're doing work on technology, if something breaks, if it gets lost, we want to make sure that those things are saved somewhere. So have you ever been, like writing a report or a report card or something, and your computer crashes and you lose all of that work? Now imagine that happens with your communication device, and all of a sudden your Pokemon page or your Mario page is no longer, and somebody has to go in and make it again, but maybe this time somebody's forgotten one of your favorite characters. How tragic would that be? How upsetting would that be? So it's really, really important that we back things up because technology breaks and kids lose stuff. We've actually already had, I think, 2 students lose their iPads already this year. So it's really, really important that we back stuff up, because if it's backed up, at least fairly regularly, then what we can do is go back to at least a somewhat recent version. I do really encourage people to back up, not whenever you think of it, but to tie it to sort of life things that happen anyways. So in the school system, that might be at report card time, right before the breaks, things like that. So we are currently right around report card time, but we're also right before winter break. So if everybody goes and backs up their technology right now, does it again right before spring break, does it again right before summer break, those are great times to back up, because then the talkers will be going home during the break. And then if something happens, then we can sort of start over at least from the last version right before the break. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the technology for a second. So we have a talker, which is represented here in black. We have a touch chat app, which is represented in blue. And then we have the student's vocabulary, which is represented in yellow. So what we are backing up is the student's customized vocabulary. What this means is that any other device that we want to share this yellow file to will have to have the blue touch chat app. I hope that makes sense. I have a few illustrations coming up that you can take a look at. Hopefully that'll make sense to you. So in order to do this, what you will need is the talker. And on the talker, you should already have the touch chat app and the OneDrive app. If you don't have those, what you can do is contact ICT, put in a work order, a ticket, and ask them to push the OneDrive app out onto your iPad. We can help you through that if that's something you need to do. Now, you'll also need your OneDrive login info. You might know this as the Teams login info. It's all the same. Somebody in the school has it. They may have reset the password at the beginning of the year. Sometimes that's done. So even though you logged in last year, you might have your password written down. If that's not working, then there's a chance that the entire school just reset all the passwords. But you will need this year's OneDrive login info. I would love to be able to say this is the person that has it, but in my experience, in every single school, it's a little bit different. But somebody in your school has this information. Okay, so first thing we're going to talk about is backing up. So in this situation, what we're taking is the customized student file and saving it to OneDrive, just like in this illustration. So what we need to do, the backup process is we log into OneDrive, and then we go into TouchChat, and then we follow these commands. We have little videos to support you through every step of this, again, on the Instagram as well as on the YouTube. So I'm just going to flip over to Instagram right now, and I'm going to hope that everything cooperates. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is select it from here. Today we're going to upload a student's customized vocabulary to OneDrive. So first you go into vocab, choose new vocab. Next we're going to go into menu, import and export vocab, export and share. We're going to select the vocabulary we want to upload. I suggest that you change the date to today's date, 11/23, done. And then you select OneDrive here. If you don't see OneDrive from your choices, you may need to go into the three dots and add it as one of your choices. So I'm going to go into OneDrive. You select Files, and then just upload it to wherever you want it to go. That's it. So I know that moved really quickly, but as I was saying in the previous presentation, it's not necessarily about you learning how to do it today. What I want you to learn is where to find the information for when you want to do it. So I will be sharing these slides with you. You're welcome to go to YouTube or this Instagram, whichever one you're more comfortable with. We hope that these resources will be helpful to you. Just a tip, I did say in the video that you should rename the file with the date when it asks you to do that. That'll let you know which file was the most recently uploaded. When you do it in the same way every time, it'll also alphabetize so that the newest one is always on the bottom. And, if you have like 12, 15 files or something like that, you can erase the oldest 10 and you don't even have to really look at the date. You can just kind of like erase them from the top down and then just open up the bottommost one. Now that we have uploaded, we can now download. So say, for example, we lose our iPad and we get a replacement talker and we want to download that student's customized vocabulary. We can just log into OneDrive and do that. Another situation that you might encounter when you might want to do this is when there's multiple iPads. So some students have one iPad here at school and then one iPad for home. Both of those iPads could hypothetically be logged into the same OneDrive account and download that file. One thing you do need to be aware of is that now we have three separate yellow files in this graphic. And so what that means is that if I say add the word dragon fruit to the one on the far left here, it won't be added to the other two. So they're all going to be separate files. So we need to keep track of who's doing the most recent editing in this situation. So it can get a little bit tricky, but it can totally be done. But we just need to understand that this is sort of what's going on. They don't sync between the iPads. iPads are not built that way yet. Okay, so the next video I have here is how to download a TouchChat file. This is a video on how to download a OneDrive file onto an iPad. In this situation, what we're doing is downloading a TouchChat file. So you'll want to make sure that you have TouchChat downloaded onto this iPad. So I've gone into Files. I've found the file that I want to download. I'm going to press the three dots, select Open in another app. It'll give us TouchChat as an option here. If you don't see that, you might need to go into these three dots, or you might not have TouchChat downloaded. So we'll go into TouchChat. Would you like to import? Yes. It's going to give me the option to rename it. I like to rename it with the date of today so that I know when I downloaded it. And then the one with the check mark is the current vocabulary. And that's it. All right. And if you are a person that prefers written information, then we have this slide for you as well. So the downloading process is you open the OneDrive, and then on OneDrive, you find the file you want, and then you open it in another app. Okay. Another thing you can do with it once it's uploaded is share the file. Now, in this situation, I'll show you the graphic again. I have to go back and forward. So in this situation, what you're doing is you're emailing a link to someone else. So this might be helpful, say, if you have a private SLP or a school SLP that wants a link to the vocabulary, and you're essentially giving them a link into your OneDrive. So you're not allowing them to log into the OneDrive and see everything that's in there. You're just giving them a link to the one file that's there. I hope that makes sense. So there's different ways of doing this, depending on whether you are an internal to the agency, like internal SD44 person, or an external one. So I've made two separate videos, but we'll just watch one of them right now.
This is a quick video on how to share a file using OneDrive. I've gone into Files here, and I've navigated to the file that I want to share. And so I'm going to share this template today. I go all the way over to the other side of the screen where the three dots are, and then I hit share, and people within my organization will pop up when I do this. So I'm just going to email this to myself today, and then I'm going to hit send, and that's it. The link has been sent.
There's just one extra step when you're doing this for somebody external, but again, you'll find the information in the same place, either on the Instagram or on the YouTube. And if you're somebody that likes written information, you open the OneDrive, and then on the OneDrive, find the file you want and share it. Another option is for you to airdrop the TouchChat file between two iPads. Now, that is possible. Yes, absolutely. You will need to have both iPads in front of you. The instructions are slightly different depending on what iOS you're running. So if you don't know how to find out what iOS you have, you can Google, how do I find out what iOS I have? And then once you find that out, you can Google, how do I airdrop with that iOS? Just so you know, this is not as good as backing up to a cloud. The reason is something could hypothetically happen to both iPads. Is it likely? Absolutely not. But best practice is to back up to somewhere cloud-based. So we're going to quickly go through how to add a button in TouchChat. This video might be helpful. Like, you could share this video with a family or somebody on a team that wants this information, but maybe you're not there right now, for example, or somebody just needs a visual support to remind them how to add a word in TouchChat. So I've just made a really, really quick video.
This is a quick video on how to add a word in TouchChat. Now, the first thing to remember when you're editing is not to remove anything that we're going to need later. So for example, for this student, they have the word is here. Maybe they're not using the word is right now, but we might need that later. So we're not going to touch that location. Okay, so what we want to do is go into Menu, Edit Page, select an empty button, edit this button. Oops, noodles. I'm going to select image here, magnifying glass, and that'll search the bank of available images. Save. And then we hit done in this top corner. That's it.
So that is there. I hope to add to this collection how to add a photo and a couple other videos, but this is what I have prepared for you today. Email us, message us if there's any other videos that you want that would be helpful, especially in supporting families and school teams to use their talkers and customize them. Yeah. Any questions at the end here?
There is already a video on how to add a photo.
Oh, actually, Kim has actually already made a couple videos on how to add a photo, how to hide things, and those ones are up on our YouTube. And I've actually included them in the same TouchChat editing playlist. No questions? Great. So what I'll do is I will PDF these slides for those people who like a what's written information and send these out to everybody. Please make sure that everybody's talkers are backed up before they go off to the holidays. And thank you for everything you do. And I hope you all have a very lovely and relaxing holiday. Thanks, everyone.